إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. We start now inshallah. طيب, sorry for delay. Inshallah, today inshallah we study al-Hadith al-Thani wa Thalathun, which is عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا ضرر ولا ضرار. حديث صحيح حديث إن شاء الله. طيب, the hadith says that لا ضرر ولا ضرار. Let's explain what does it mean. It's talking about, it's a general hadith about harming. لا ضرر ولا ضرار. Some of the ulama says لا ضرر ولا ضرار mean do not harm yourself, nor do you harm the others. Some of the ulama says لا ضرر means do not harm others, even if there is a benefit for you, or ضرار to harm somebody. There's no to harm somebody when there is no benefit in that. So la darara, to harm someone, okay, for your benefit. Darara means to harm somebody for your benefit, and dirar is to harm someone, okay, when there's no benefit for you. So scholars have explained darara wa dirar, what it means. But first of all, if we think about darara wa la dirar in ibadah, there is no harm in the aspect of worship. You know the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal, in His ibadah, in His worship, there is no harm in that. Allah made Islam easy for us. Okay, Allah Azza wa Jal has made Islam easy for us, not difficult. So for example, when it comes to worship of Allah Azza wa Jal, we pray standing up. If you can't pray standing up, we pray sitting down. If you can't pray sitting down, we pray on a side. Likewise in Salah, before Salah we make wudu. Okay? If you can't make wudu, make tayammum. There's no harm in that. So ease, no harm, is ease in the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is one aspect, la darara. Also in aspect of mu'amalat with the creation, there should be no harm in that. We should not abuse anyone. We should not abuse verbally or physically. And there are many hadiths on that. In the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, one Prophet said that al-Muslim man salim al-Muslimuna min lisani wa yadihi, that a Muslim is safe, is a Muslim with another Muslim is safe from his hand and his tongue. Yani that he doesn't get abused verbally or physically. No darar. We shouldn't harm one another. Okay? So in mu'amalat, we have to have peace, not harming anyone, because the consequence is great. Now, la darara wa la dirar, there should be no harm in any aspect of human life. Now, when it comes to this aspect of harm, we have to prevent harm, but we're allowed to take revenge. There's a revenge in Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal. We can take revenge on people in a similar scale. Like in the Quran, Allah said that وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. Okay? وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ, if you punish somebody, punish someone likewise. Okay? Now this is not the hadith is talking about. Okay? The hadith is talking about to harm people unnecessarily, without any purpose. But here we're talking about, Sharia says that you're allowed to take revenge, retribution. When people harm you, you harm likewise. So this is the opinion of Qurtubi and others have mentioned Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, Ibn Sirin, that you're allowed, Islamically, you're allowed to, for example, if someone were to swear at you, you can swear at him likewise. But if he swear at you and you swear at him and then his parents and everyone, then this is not allowed. Likewise, if someone were to slap you, you can slap him back, likewise, but not take a gun and shoot him or something like that. So, you're allowed to do things like that. But in the end of the ayah says that it's better for you to be patient. It's better for you to be patient. For example, the hadith says, in the hadith it said that فمن قتل بحديد قتل بها ومن قتل بالحجر قتل به. Hadith of Prophet said that, it's actually saying of the Imam al-Qurtubi, saying of Imam al-Qurtubi that if someone kills somebody with a rod or something like that, he should be killed like that. And if he kills somebody with a rock or stone, should be killed like that as well. So, عُوقِبْتُمْ بِمِثْلِ مَا. So you punish him the way you are punished. And this is in same level. And this is something that Islamically is allowed. But the hadith is talking about to harm somebody, okay? To harm someone never harmed you, okay? You're only harming him for your own benefit. Understand? So, this is not allowed. The hadith saying is forbidden, okay? Is to harm someone never harmed you. This is not allowed in Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal. So la darara wa la dirar is a qaida, it is a principle that you do not harm yourself, nor harm somebody else as well. And this is one of the principles in Islam, and this not only relate to you, relate to the community as well. You can harm somebody by taking his wealth, not paying his money back. Many ways you can harm somebody. So this is one of the principles in Islam. We have other principles that ulama have mentioned, that is al-umur bil-maqasid, every matter based on intention, that's the second one. Third one is al-mashaqqa tajlibu taysir, burden brings ease. If it's a mashaqqa, brings ease. For example, you can't make wudu, you make tayammum, mashaqqa. And the other one, the qaida the ulama have mentioned, is that al-'adatul muhakkama, which is the custom. We're talking about custom, that any custom that people practice have to take it to the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, if it's allowed, not allowed. Certain Sharia, certain customs that does not agrees with the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, we don't accept it. For example, in this country, their custom is what? Part of their custom is to drink alcohol. There's things which are not allowed in Islam. The allowed thing in the law which is not allowed by the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, but their custom, we don't accept it. So this is one of the great qaida that we follow. So these are some of the qawaid, that major qawaid principle in Islam. This is one of them. La darra wa la dirar. So you understand, my brothers. So basically talking about general harming people, we're not allowed to harm people. But if someone were to harm somebody, you're allowed to take your revenge in a lawful way, in a same manner. Okay?
Can I ask a question? You said you can harm someone if they harm you back.
Yes.
You said it's swearing.
If he swears, then he can swear him back.
Isn't that going to affect you as well?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Depend. Ulama says, إن عاقبتم فعوقبوا بمثل ما عوقبتم به. If he punishes you, hurt you, you can do it likewise. But as you said, it's best. Allah allows it, but it is allowed. It's better for you to be patient, not to do that. If someone were to do it, he's not sinful. He's not sinful. If he swears at him, if he swears back at him, for example, let me give you an example. If someone says you're a dog, if you say you're a dog as well, you're not sinful for that, because based on the ayah, you're not sinful, because you're saying same thing exactly what he's saying. But the best thing is to be patient. It says the ayah, okay. But if he swears at you, you swear at him and his parents, and then you oppressed him, this is not allowed. The ulama explained this. So this is not
if we are patient,
it's better.
And then can we be compensated on the day of judgment for this?
Yeah, you can. obviously this is if a person wants to take him to Yawm al-Qiyamah, then Sharia allows it, but to forgive is better, isn't it? Forgive is better. If we study the text, it is better to forgive. But, so this ayah talking about la darara, one of the explanations is that to harm somebody, okay, and in the harm you have a benefit in that, okay, you have a benefit. Wa dirar, to harm someone without any benefit. So or you can, another way you can translate, do not harm yourself, do not harm the others, okay, that's harm is not allowed. But if someone were to hurt you and you want to take the revenge of that, then you can be patient, okay, you can, second, you can forgive him, or you can retaliate in a same way, same thing you can, but to be patient is better. It's better to be patient. But Sharia doesn't forbid you to retaliate in same force, same thing, in same level. Yeah. So this is important hadith. La darar wa la dirar. So there should be no darar whatsoever. There should be no harm in whatever sense. طيب إخوان. So we go to the next hadith. And then we'll discuss inshallah. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه أن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم لادعى رجال أموال قوم ودماءهم لكن البينة على المدعي واليمين على من أنكر. He said that hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنه أن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, if human beings were given everything that they claim, then they will claim everything from the people's wealth. But the clarification, evidence is required the one who claims, and the oath is required the one who denies. Okay. Now this hadith is hadith that relate to people, the community. You know, لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم. Okay. If the people were given for what they claim, for example, if people are claiming people wealth, if someone came and says, I want your car, this is my car. Hadith says, if you just give him what he's claiming, then he'll claim everything. Okay? So we're not allowed to just give people what they claim. Understand? We have to ask for bayyina. And the bayyina could be in a letter form, verbal, whatever, or someone was there. So if someone says, this car is mine, this land is mine, okay, you don't just give it to him. I say, what's your proof? Give me the proof that this land belongs to you. And if he can give the proof, okay, then with the dalil, everything, witness everything, then the land goes to the person who's claiming that his land. If he cannot prove that his land, then he doesn't take the land. And the one who's denying the land, it doesn't belong to him, then he needs to make an oath that this is his land. Okay, so this hadith is talking about not to give things to the people if they claim, because if that takes place, if that happens, then there will be fitna in the society and problem in the society. Okay, and hadith teaches us what is the solution for this. So the person who claiming have to bring burhan. Hati burhan in kuntum sadiqin. Bring evidence if you're truthful. So we have this lot of problem back home. People taking land, okay, change the landscape, claiming this is my land, this is mine. But Islamically, no, it teaches us, in the Qadi, the judge will say, okay, you claiming this is your land, give me your proof, bring a witness, whatever evidence that you have, bring it to me, and I will see it. We'll make a judgment from there. And the one who says, no, this is not your land, it's my land, then he should make oath that this is not his land. So this hadith basically talking about claiming things. Claiming could be anything, house or a car. If someone wants to take your wealth, then the one who's claiming have to bring evidence. So this is something that we can use in a society as a solution for the people. In the hadith, Prophet said, لعن من غير من الأرض لعن الله Man ghayyara manar al-ard. Allah curses the one who changed the landscape. So if you take landscape claiming this is mine, this is the person has been cursed if that is not his land. So to claim somebody's wealth, Hadith says the person has to bring evidence, burhan, bayyina. Without that, he cannot claim anything. Subhanallah. So it shouldn't be the case that person should be given whatever he claims. Then there will be fasad on earth. There should be a judgment. Qadi will make a judge, will judge between the two persons, and that's the way to do it. Okay, this is the nizam system in Islam. The next hadith is عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. Hadith Sahih Muslim, that Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu said that I heard Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whoever see evil, let him change it with his hand. If he can't, then let him speak out. If he can't, then let him hate it in the heart. That's the weakest of Iman. طيب, this hadith talking about changing evil, okay, in 3 stages: with the hand, or speak out, or hate it in the heart. It's an amazing hadith, mashallah. This is an amazing hadith, and we should do that. And Allah Azza wa Jal praises the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. This is about changing the evil. Okay, in the Quran Allah said, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنحون عن المنكر. You are the best of the nation, that you believe in Allah and you enjoy good and you forbid evil. So munkar, what is munkar? Changing evil, changing bad. Munkar is, the scholars have said, one of the definition is that هو اسم جامع لكل ما اسم جامع ما حرم الله من الأقوال والأعمال ظاهرا وباطنا. That everything, it encompasses everything that Allah made a haram. Okay, whether it's statement or action, or internally or externally. So anything that Allah made haram is munkar. Any sins that Allah has forbade is haram. That's munkar. And munkar is something that Allah Azza wa Jalla described the believers. They're the one who change the evil. تأمرون بالمعروف وتنحون عن المنكر. You forbid evil. On contrary to that, the munafiqun, what do? They enjoy they command munkar and they forbid good. Okay, these are the munafiqun. Okay, يأمرون بالمنكر وينهون عن المعروف. This is the munafiqun, they do that. But the believers, they enjoy good, forbid evil. Now, that's what munkar is. Now this hadith talking about changing evil. Now, when it comes to changing evil, the conditions are there. The first condition of changing evil is that the person who is changing it has to have knowledge. He needs to have the knowledge of the munkar. He needs to have knowledge, and that has 2 parts to it. Knowledge of the munkar and knowledge of the person who's doing the munkar. So for example, fasting month of Ramadan is wajib. So someone is eating on month of Ramadan. Okay, so he sees something evil, yeah? Now, secondly, you have to see the person who is eating, doing munkar, but you have to know his hal. Maybe he's ill or something. He's ill and he can't fast, so he's eating. So you have to know his hal as well. So you have to knowledge of the evil. Secondly, you have to have sabr when you do munkar. Changing evil, you have to have sabr. You have to be patient. Thirdly, you have to have hilm. You have to have rifq. You have to advise the person in a good manner. Okay. Fourthly, when you do amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy munkar, when you enjoy good, forbid evil, you have to have knowledge of benefit and harm. Okay, because maslah and mafsad, the benefit and harm, has 3 stages. So if you change the evil, if there's a greater maslaha, benefit, then change it. Number 1. Number 2, if you change an evil there's a greater mafsada, then you don't change it. And third stage is that changing evil, it doesn't do anything, okay? Then they said if the mafsada is the same, then you have to change the evil. Now, for example, someone, say for example, you want to change, say somebody is drinking khamr, yeah? And you want to change that evil, you want to tell him that don't drink is haram, okay? You've seen the munkar. Now, what is the maslaha? If the maslaha is that he's not going to drink, he's going to stop, then do it. If the mafsada is great, yani, if you go and change the evil, you want to warn against this munkar, but if he strikes you, harm you, then you don't do it. You don't do it, okay? So in that stage, you stop the evil, meaning you don't go ahead, advise him, okay? Likewise, if you go to a masjid, say in Bangladesh, you go and pray in a masjid, and after the masjid they're doing milad, and they talking about Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet going to come here and sit here, and he's alive and things like that. They're doing things which is shirkiyat, and you want to speak out, and they know they're going to beat you up. Leave it. Don't change the munkar, okay? Because the mafsada is great, which is you're going to get harmed physically, basically. So the ulama says, no, you don't do it. For example, another example, if you go back home and you see some of the people committing shirk billah azza wa jal, okay, which is the greatest sin you can commit, but you want to break the idols. Ibrahim was thrown into the fire because breaking the idol. You want to break the idol, you remove it because you see the evil, you want to change it with your hand. But the mafsada is great, which is, it might be bloodshed. So the ulama said, leave it. Because the qa'idah is, dar'ul mafasid muqaddim ala jalb al-masalih. To remove the harm, take the precedence over benefit. So the benefit is you just broke the idols. But the mafsada is what? Bloodshed. More harm. Okay? Let me give you some of the hadith. Prophet said to Aisha radiallahu anha that, yeah Aisha, the Kaaba is not in the original position. Okay? It's not the position, it's not the foundation that Ibrahim built. So he said to Aisha, yeah Aisha, I would like to put the Kaaba in its original position where it was built by Ibrahim salam. But I can't do it because I know the Quraysh, the people call fitna. So what is the mafsada? Maslaha is what? He bring it to the original position, yeah? But the mafsada is, they'll call fitna. So I'm going to leave it. Another one. Dhul Khuwaysira, yeah?
Is mafsada consequence? Is mafsada?
Mafsada is harm. Harm. Okay? Now, one of these Ahlul Bid'ah, Mubtadi', Dhul Khuwaysira. Dhul Khuwaysira is a Khariji, from the Khawarij, he was at the time Prophet ﷺ. He said to Prophet ﷺ, Ya Muhammad, i'adil. Be just. He's saying to Prophet of Allah, be just. Prophet said, In lam a'adil, man ya'adil. If I'm not just, then who's going to be just? So he revolted against Prophet ﷺ. So Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, allow me behead him. Prophet didn't say what you said was wrong. No, he didn't say that. He said, don't, because the people will say Muhammad killed his companion. So look at it. What's the maslaha? Maslaha is there. You behead him. Khalas. You're talking against Rasulullah like this. Behead him. It's okay. That's the benefit. But the harm is greater. And what is the harm? That they will say Muhammad killed his companion. Prophet will have bad reputation. So he said, leave it. Okay? So in the Quran it says, لا تسبوا الذين يدعون من دون الله فيسبوا الله عدوا بغير علم. That the companion is to curse the idol, which is the maslaha, isn't it? Benefit. Nothing to do with that. You can curse the idols. But the harm is what? Allah said, do not curse the idol that they worship, lest they will curse Allah, which is the most mafsada is greater. So Allah said, do not curse the idols because they will curse Allah Azza wa Jalla, which is the greater, which is more mafsada, more harm. Don't do it. So we get the principle from the Quran. Okay? So you have to look at the benefit and harm. Okay? So when you're changing evil, you have to look at the benefit and harm, dar'ul mafasid and jalbul masalih. Pushing harm away, gaining benefit. And this is what is going to happen. You have to look at that. when you see evil, when you want to change it, you have to look into this, the consequences of this changing of the evil. But if you see, if somebody, people know you in your village, then alhamdulillah. But generally you have to know these qawaid. So the condition is that when you change munkar, these are the conditions you have to have. Okay, you have to have these conditions fulfilled. Now hadith says, man ra'a minkum al munkar, whoever sees, okay, munkar, let him change it with his hand. So that's the first part, or the first level of changing the evil, that you use your hand. Okay, you change it with your hand, and this is the highest level of iman. Okay, and if you can't do that, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ, that if he cannot change it with his hand, whatever reason, whatever could be, it's not close to him or something like that, it's not beyond his ability to change it with his hand, let him speak with his tongue. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, you know this word istita'a, the ulama said everything that we do in Islam based on istita'a, based on qudra, and without qudra we cannot do. So for example, fasting month of Ramadan, okay, one of the condition of takalif, one of the condition of worshipping Allah is that we have to be upon qudra, ability. So if a month of Ramadan comes and we ordered to fast, everybody have to fast, but he need to fast upon istita'a, okay, upon qudra, upon ability. If he's ill, he can't fast. Okay, women cannot fast because she's going to monthly menstruations, so she can't fast, whatever. So everything happen istita'a. So hadith says, if you cannot do that, you're not able to do that, then let you speak out the munkar, knowing the maslaha and mafsada. Okay, if you think speaking out is okay, I'm not going to be physically harmed, then speak out, but with patience, with rifq, with good, with nasiha, nice advice. Okay, speak out, inshallah, and tell the person whatever you want to say. So that's how we change the evil. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِمْ فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِمْ. Okay, if you cannot change it with his, if you cannot speak out, maybe he thinks that if I speak out, I might get attacked, or I might not able to get out of here. I'm knowing the situation. He hates it in the heart. He hates it in the heart. So the istita'a is most important thing when it comes to enjoying good, forbidding good. There's the qaida, inshallah, which is the ulama have mentioned. They said that فليس بواجب لا اقتدار وليس بمحرم مع الاضطرار. They say that it is not wajib if you cannot do it. So for example, to make wudu is a wajib, it's a condition of the salah, but you are ill, you can't make it, or there's no water to make wudu. Bila iqtidar, it's in the qudra, so you don't make wudu, you make tayammum. وليس بمحرم مع الاضطرار. Something is not haram if you're compelled. So what is it? That is to save your life. To save your life. Okay? Because it's something that you are compelled, like for example, if you're in a desert, to save your life you only have to eat the meat of the pig. Or if you're in a desert, you can survive only by drinking the alcohol. So you're forced, you're compelled to have this. Okay? So ضرورية تبيح المحظورات. There's another qaida under this, is that necessity makes haram halal, in a sense that to save your life. So ضرورية is to save your life. Mahdurat is the sin that you're going to commit. So the ulama says that ضروري have to be higher than the mahdurat, the sin that you're going to commit. So drinking alcohol is lesser than saving your life. Saving your life is higher than drinking that. Drink it, save your life, that's greater. What if something is like this? You go save your life killing a righteous man.
You save the righteous man.
So the ulama discussed about it. I don't know the Qawluraji, you don't do it. Because he's a righteous man. He is more important than you maybe. Allah knows best. Yeah. So you can't use that qa'idah to kill a righteous man. So daruriyya, necessity have to be higher. What is daruriyya? Let me give the definition. Daruriyya is a person who is afflicted with harm, there's no way to fall back to it. So that's daruriyya. There's no escape from you. There's no way out from it. Okay? There's no way out. Okay? So that's daruriyya. A need is something that a person is afflicted with harm, but he can fall back to something. So daruriyya is something that necessity. Out of necessity, you can do things. So basically, the rule is that nothing is wajib if you're not able to do it, and if it's haram becomes lawful at time of if you're compelled out of necessity. Okay, so this hadith talking about enjoying good, forbidding evil, but based on this qa'idah, dar'ul mafasid muqaddim ala jalb al-masalih, that pushing away the harm take the precedence over gaining benefit. So you automatically have to look at this benefit and harm when you're going to change evil. You have to look at the benefit and harm. What if I were to change the evil, speak out, what is the harm, what is the benefit? You look at that and then move on. Okay, this is what the hadith is about, inshallah. So, Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. Now, another addition to that is that I've just remembered, can you enjoy good, forbid evil in issues? There are ikhtilaf al-ulama, where scholars have differed. Where scholars differed in fiqh, masal fiqhiyya, do you make inkar of that? They say that ikhtilaf in fiqh issues are two types. Ikhtilaf which is acceptable, then you don't make inkar of that. So for example, someone going to ruku' with his hand, someone going with his hand, okay, you can't make inkar of that because there's a khilaf on this. Also, if someone were to make wudu, someone to eat camel meat and doesn't make wudu, there's khilaf on that. Some opinion said he doesn't need to make wudu, he can just go and pray, because opinion they follow. Some said the hadith, majority said no, you have to make wudu if you eat camel meat. So if khilaf like this, different opinion like this, you can't make inkar. Inkar only happens when there's no khilaf, but it is very weak. So second type of khilaf is khilaf which is غير معتبرة, which is not accepted. Okay, which is not accepted, then you make inkar of that. For example, someone says, the one example I gave before as well. For example, if someone says that, for example, when you stand for salah, okay, you have to read Fatiha, okay, because اقرأ ما تيسر من القرآن. The Prophet said to the man, read whatever is easy for you from the Quran. So they say, see, you don't have to read Fatiha. You don't read Fatiha. You read Alam Tara Kayfa, Surah Fil, whatever. You don't read Fatiha. I follow the opinion. This is a munkar. You have to make this one. You have to make inkar of it, because another hadith says, another riwayah, we said to read Ummul Kitab. Iqra Ummul Kitab. Read the Fatiha. So for you to say in Salah you don't read Fatiha, this opinion very weak. Opinion like that you make inkar. Okay? You forbid that evil. Also if someone says when you stand for Salah, when you make Takbiratul Ihram, just praise Allah, whatever way. This is no way in the hadith found. One opinion, but it's no evidence in that. Okay, you have to say Allahu Akbar, and this is what the Salah, this is what Prophet and Sahabas did. They didn't say Allahul A'zam, Allahul Ajmal, Allahu Al-Latif, nothing like that. Even though you're praising Allah, you can't say that. You have to say Allahu Akbar. But there's one opinion, there's no evidence for it. It says that you can say whatever, it praises Allah. But that's weak. That you make inkar of it. This is not a khilaf. This is something that you have to warn against. No one should practice that opinion. So, can we make inkar of mas'ala khilaf? Can we make inkar, can we warn against issues where there is this is the opinion? Then we say this is the opinion two types, which is accepted, which is not accepted. So if it's not accepted, then we make inkar of that. Then if it falls under the hadith. But not any khilaf. Not any khilaf. Because the other opinions are there. طيب إخوان جزاكم الله خير.
I have a question, brother. When we forbid evil, for example, the hadith says, if you have a three choice, either using your hand or tongue, and at least hate with your iman, with your heart, and this is the weakest
Of Iman.
Yes. Does this mean like if I have an opportunity to stop to forbid evil with hand or tongue, and if I don't do this, even if I had an opportunity to do this nicely without harming myself, and if I choose just hating it, that means on that day, I might, on the day of judgment, for this action, my iman could be classified lower, right? Because lowest state, right?
Okay, these are stages of Iman. The one with the highest of Iman will change you with his hand. If he can. If he can't, then he will speak out. Okay? If he can't, at least he can do hate in your heart. Okay? As I said that for you to do first two, you have, if you hate in your heart, no one can see that. Only Allah knows. Yeah? But first two, you have to look at that mafsad and maslaha. Okay? For example, if it's your house, you have to do it. It's your house, isn't it?
No, what I mean, like,
but if it's a community where you know the people, and you know they're not going to do anything, they'll listen to you, then you have to speak out.
Yeah, but if I follow shaitan and then just hate with my heart, that means I reduced my iman level.
You've done the least you can do.
Because of this, I could have reduced my iman level. Yeah.
That shows level of iman anyway.
Okay,
if you got highest iman, you go and speak out. Yeah. And if you can't, if you can just hate in your heart and leave, don't stay there then.
Thank you. Now I understand.
Hate and then